Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Enrique and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Usur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, proceeding between National Workers Union and WAF terminated. Parents nervous with children going under the knife. And rift within SADELPA continues.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Employment Relations Tribunal has terminated the proceedings between the National Workers Union and the Water Authority. The decision was made by the tribunal following a lengthy hearing this afternoon. Pranita Prakash reports.
The matter between the National Workers Union and the Water Authority was taken up to the Arbitration Tribunal to resolve the issue between the Water Authority and its employees whose contracts ended on April 30th. National Workers Union General Secretary Felix Anthony maintained that some of the Water Authority employees received their letters a day before their contracts expired. The lawyers for Water Authority admitted that in relation to one particular employee, her termination notice was handed on April 25th, while she should have been given 2 weeks minimum notice. They also informed the court that a circular was issued by the authority to forewarn the employees of their contracts coming to an end. Resident Magistrate Andrew C. has made several recommendations. The tribunal has ordered the parties, including senior management at the Water Authority, to undertake an extensive review of the outstanding issue. It has also ordered the parties to resolve any compliance concerns that may have arisen as a result of the termination of the workers as of 30th April. The tribunal has ordered that all the other matters raised by the union in relation to collective agreement and the employment issues to be taken up with the arbitration court. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
An experienced pediatric heart surgeon has raised concerns about the failure of some parents to allow their children to undergo surgery. Dr. Ashish Katewa, who recently completed heart surgeries on 17 of our children as part of the Sai Prema Foundation Gift of Life initiative, says the refusal of parents is a huge challenge. Akusita Thale reports the surgeon has admitted it's also a failure on their part because they weren't able to convince the parents to allow their children to undergo the required operations.
Dr. Ashish Katewa has conducted over 5,000 surgeries in his career to date. However, one of the issues he's faced in Fiji is scared and nervous parents.
We had actually a family whom we had scheduled for surgery, but then after a lot of discussion, the family decided they would not opt for surgery. The risk we gave them was only 0.5% versus a 900% risk of not survival.
He says there should be no reason for parents to hold back, especially when the surgery is free. This fear of the parents over their children undergoing surgery can only be fixed with more awareness. Fiji has some of the latest equipment in heart surgery and the success rate is high.
With the current technology available, with current expertise available, most lesions can be fixed and the chances of surviving heart surgery are very high versus near certainty that the child may not survive long.
The health minister has commended the work of the foundation and noted the assistance of a group of local young cardiac doctors in saving children's lives.
Very vibrant with a group of young doctors and nurses who have an interest in children's heart. And rheumatic heart disease is an issue that actually affects a lot of our young children, also into adults, apart from the congenital problems that they have.
Meanwhile, the recent Sai Prema mission saw 17 Fijian children given a new lease on life, with the youngest patient a 3-month-old baby, while the oldest was a 14-year-old girl. Akusita Thale, FBC News.
The rift within SODELPA continues to grow, with the senior party MP now revealing all about his disappointment in unfair election campaign procedures laid down by the party. Months after the 2018 general elections, Nico Nawaikula is finally speaking out about his frustrations, saying his potential votes were compromised because some party officials were campaigning for the party leader Sitiveni Rambuka in an area allocated to him. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Always vocal about what SODELPA stands for as a party, Nico Nawaikula has now spilled all about differences that occurred within the party prior to the 2018 general elections.
There were confusions with regards to that. The confusion, I believe, was caused by the rush. You know, there's a rush to get this and get things done, so there were interrupts, and those things were happening. And it happened to me, and it happened to many, that their areas were overlapped with others.
Nawaikula also revealed an instance where he had to chase party headquarters officials away from a constituency allocated to him because the officials were putting up party leader Sitiveni Rambuka's posters in the area.
Because I have a right to do that. You know, I come across, and the groups from other areas, namely our party leader was here. So I kindly tell them, look, our boundary ends here. And every poster, even the poster of our party leader, I had told them, you have to remove it.
Nawaikula told FBC News this last-minute change of SODELPA campaign tactics was a directive from the party's head office in Suva and was widely rejected by most SODELPA candidates who were campaigning in areas allocated to them.
Yes, I have that issue. Nassim Soni have that issue to raise. I know I met recently with Mr. Iswa Tikadar, who have the same issue. I know Semen Sakarabaki have the same issue. So it's good to be it will be discussed openly and very frankly.
Nawaikula says this is one of the major issues he and other affected party members will be raising at the party's annual general meeting later this month. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has made an appeal to Australian leaders to visit the communities facing the impact of climate change in Fiji. Bainimarama made the comment at the Australian Emission Reduction Summit in Melbourne, while slamming Liberal MP John Alexander for suggesting Australia should prioritise helping Pacific Islanders move to higher ground to avoid sea level rise over reducing its use of coal. Ritika Pratap has more.
Minister hitting out at the Australian leader for proposing solutions that are blatantly out of touch with the reality on the ground every day.
But I do feel entitled to give a return serve to a former tennis great turned politician who mentioned me by name at an election meeting a couple of days ago. It was in the context of my calls for Australia to stop burning coal, halt the development of new coal mines, excuse me, and do more to embrace clean energy sources. None of that is new.
Bainimarama says 3 Fijian communities have moved to safer territory, while a further 40 are awaiting for relocation.
Relocation is enormously complex. New resources and space must be allocated. New forms of livelihood must be identified and cultivated. That is why Fiji has developed the world's first relocation guidelines and is in the process of establishing a relocation trust fund dedicated to this purpose.
He also criticised a suggestion by former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd that Australia should offer citizenship to Pacific Islanders in exchange for control of their fisheries. The Prime Minister stressed that while Fiji no longer presides over the climate negotiations, she will not take one step back where this climate crisis is concerned. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come, budget increase due to livestock diseases, and Fisheries Ministry to continue providing support to fishermen. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua na sere.
Hoya vasitsai sa ilambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong Nambula FM nambandua na sere.
Buya da tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong Nambula FM, nambandua na sere.
Wana tunga Nambula FM, nambandua na sere nambua.
Brucellosis and tuberculosis remain one of the biggest challenges for the Fiji meat industry. Permanent Secretary for Agriculture David Kolitangane says both diseases have existed in Fiji over the past several years and cannot be eradicated. Kritika Kumar reports that there is a vital need to control the issue.
The Permanent Secretary says they have increased their budget from $1 million to $3 million to control the devastating disease.
The past 2 years we've increased our budget from a mere 1 million that we provided to brucellosis and what we're calling our BTEC program, where we test and then we remove animals from the farms.
He adds in the past the ministry had not been compensating farmers for the condemned animals.
Now with the revision of the formula for compensation, we pay the full animal and the cost is taken on board by government.
Meanwhile, Dr. Keresi Lomata says they have established zoning for individual farms.
There is an emergency declaration of the two diseases in the country. So the control of movement, there is strict control of movement of cattle.
The brucellosis BTEC testing program is now Fiji-wide. Before they used to focus on the Central Division, but now they are testing animals in the Western and the Northern Divisions. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Ministry of Fisheries has committed to continue providing support to the Wainikoro Fisheries Station in Madawata. The station provides the necessary infrastructure to catalyse commercial fishing operations in the rural and remote areas of the Madawata district. Eleanor Tarangaview reports.
Located about 45 minutes out of Lambasa town, the Wainikoro Fisheries Station is a haven to fishermen in the coastal and remote maritime islands of Madawata.
Why I have said that Wainikoro is different because of the capacity that they've been able to develop in Wainikoro.
The station is like a one-stop shop for commercial fishermen, providing them with necessary infrastructure to enhance their livelihood, like the ice plant, jetty, slipway, mechanical workshop, and other administration services.
We are thankful for this fishery station and the ice plant especially. We can keep our fish for longer and it won't go bad.
It has shown today what they have been able to achieve. It's basically the ministry needs to support them in terms of improving their capacity to be able to provide that service.
Minister for Fisheries, Semi Correia Visau, visited the Wainikoro Fisheries Station yesterday, along with his Permanent Secretary, Craig Strong. The ministry has also reviewed the performance of the Wainikoro Fishing Cooperative and is committed to helping improve the operation. Eleanor Tarangaibiu, FBC News.
Fiji Council of Social Services President Sitiveni Turanganimbure says it's imperative that they're able to work with government and enhance their partnership. Speaking on the fringes of the high-level Asian Development Bank meeting last week, Turanganimbure says a stronger collaboration will ensure development reaches those Fijians most in need. Maggie Boyle reports.
Civil society organisations are a cornerstone of good governance. It's to this end that better alliances are being forged.
We hope that we could come to amicable solutions, how we can go into partnership and merge together. On top of that, we have to align ourselves with the government policy so that we can have access to them.
Another key aspect is working collectively on the progress of sustainable development goals.
The high-level political forum will be in the state in New York, and the government will be reporting on the progress of SDGs within the country. So we have been asked if we could contribute. If we cannot achieve that to the government to be part of that reporting mechanism.
The ADB president noting that deliberations were substantive, with CSOs as well as the broader themes of the meeting.
Frankly, I expected a very high kind of a remark for this meeting even before coming here, but this meeting exceeded even that high expectations.
More than 2,300 delegates attended the ADB meeting in Nandi, representing 83 countries. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
41-year-old Reena Devi, who finished second during Mirchi FM's Bam Mein Dam competition, was emotional as she received her prizes today. Devi, who sat for 77 hours, received a $500 shopping voucher and a Hisense 7 kg fully automated washing machine, both from Quartz Fiji Limited. The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation also awarded her $3,000 cash and a weekend getaway for two at the Pearl Resort in Pacific Harbour. The mother of two was excited and speechless when receiving her prize. The Bam Mein Dam competition was held last month. Later in sports, Jamie will have all the latest from our Fiji 7 side, but first Rachel is back with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, various issues discussed at the Economic Ministers meeting. An ongoing Fiji Nadi Rural River project to begin next year. Stay with us.
For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM.
Leading business tonight, rising fuel prices, balancing trade issues and challenges in building a resilient economy are major issues being discussed at the Forum Economic Ministers meeting in Suva. Economy Minister Ayar Said Kayim says with Pacific Island economies at risk due to the impact of climate change, there is a great need for more collaboration. Savara Tumbua reports.
Climate financing for the proposed Pacific Resilience Facility is important because it will be tailored towards the specific needs of Pacific countries.
Discussed about the cost of funds that's available to the Pacific, whether it's for building for resilience or whether it's in respect of for overall development of the country. The cost of funds is very, very critical. And one of the issues that most, not just Pacific Island countries have to face, but Caribbean and indeed other smaller states around the world, is to be able to ensure there's debt sustainability.
Meanwhile, Cook Islands Deputy Prime Minister Mark Brown is urging countries that have made commitments to continue contributing to the Green Climate Fund to enable countries like us to take advantage of their grants.
We just have to look back 5 years when there was nothing in this space available to us. The Green Climate Fund was still being established, it wasn't operational. 5 years later, some of our countries are now accredited to the Green Climate Fund. We have accessed some funding. The Green Climate Fund is now coming to a stage where replenishment of that fund is needed.
The proposed Pacific Resilience Facility aims to have a minimum of $500 million in capital to help Pacific communities, businesses and governments climate-proof their infrastructure. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
We now join Sean from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Growing fear about the impact of a worsening US-Sino trade conflict on global growth kept the safe haven Japanese yen near recent highs today. The yen tends to benefit during geopolitical or financial stress, as Japan is the world's biggest creditor nation since last Friday. In Australia, the Reserve Bank kept their official interest rate unchanged at 1.5% yesterday. It was one of the most politically charged meetings in years, less than a fortnight out from the election. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand took a slightly different approach. In the announcement today, they reduced their official cash rate to 1.5% from 1.75%. The RBNZ governor stated that a lower interest rate was necessary to support the outlook for employment and inflation consistent with their policy mandate. So let's see if the market is able to smooth out the effects on the Kiwi overnight. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Finaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to today's exchange rates as it was set this morning. Now, the Fiji dollar was climbing against most of the currencies we cover, showing some gains against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar, the Kiwi dollar, as well as the PNG Kina and the euro. It lost a little ground against the suddenly stronger Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen. Looking at the commodities market, the up and down price of oil was down today, still remaining fairly solid around $62 per barrel. Gold was up at $1,286 per ounce, and silver closed down at $14.89 per ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Nandi Rural River program is expected to kick-start mid-next year. Economy Minister Ayar Said Kiyim says the costing of the program would be approximately $400 million. The Australian government has expressed their interest in participating in the program. Said Kiyim says many countries are interested due to the credibility and integrity of the program itself.
The project is actually divided into three specific areas. What we call the Nandi town area and going up to River Mount, which is Project A. Then you have the middle part, which is the largest part, which is widening of the river, which is the building of some bridges, which is the part B. And of course, they have also dikes and retention dams. There's some underwater systems that need to be developed. And then you have Project C, which is the upper catchment area.
And that's it from Business for tonight. Jamie's up next with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Fiji's 7th side to be named soon. And local rugby league players given one more chance to impress. Details coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nosori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jax Nosori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nosori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Fiji Airways 7th side for the London and Paris Sevens is expected to be named either tomorrow or Friday. Coach Gareth Baber says the players will have to go through another grueling session tomorrow before he names the team. Aquila Dama with the details.
Trying their best to impress the national coach, knowing the 14-member squad for the last two tournaments may be named tomorrow.
I think potentially tomorrow or maybe Friday. We've just got to check on some of those injuries before I announce it. And we've come through a session again today. I need to see them go through sessions again tomorrow, and then we'll make an assessment with my assistant coach, obviously S&C trainer and medics as well.
For Captain Paulanrani Sinukula, it will all come down to the little things during training.
It's tough. It's tough to have the competition in the team, and all the boys are fighting for the spot for the 12th to get into London and Paris.
Jerry Twai had a full hit out this afternoon compared to last week, where he had light training sessions.
I'm glad to have him back. He's working through all his fitness, getting back to the levels he needs to, working hard to do it. And similar with Jerry, as you suggest, that he sat out a number of the sessions last week, but now he's back in, making his tackles, doing his contact work, and obviously doing the running volume as well.
Terio Tamani and Apinisa Kombalavu were the only players missing from training today. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Former Fiji Airways 7 skipper Kalione Nosoko is likely to be out for the remainder of the World 7 Series after leaving the country this morning for Scotland. In a social media post from Nandi Airport, Nosoko was farewelled by family and friends. FBC Sports understands he is going to team up with Pro 14 club Edinburgh, playing alongside William Emata and Eroni Sau. Nosoko signed a 2-year contract starting next season. Edinburgh announced signing Nosoko and Sau a month ago. Coach Richard Cockrell has described Nosoko as a tremendously exciting player and adds the 28-year-old from Kese Naviti Nasawa brings something different to the team, giving them a little bit more of an X-factor. Local rugby league players have been challenged to give it their best this weekend in the Vodafone Cup to earn a spot in the Fiji residents team, with the Tongan residents side coming over to play 3 tests against Fiji next month. National coach Brandon Costin says his coaching staff is giving players one more chance to impress before they name a team.
So the squad will be formally announced next week. At the moment we have about 60 players that we're looking at, and it's after this weekend's games when we go and watch who's playing well and who's in form that we'll select that team early next week formally.
Highlanders Super Rugby star Ben Smith might have played his last game for his beloved Southern outfit. Smith is set to be sidelined for up to 2 months with his hamstring strain, meaning the Highlanders will probably need to make the Super Playoffs to give the fan favourite a send-off before the World Cup and before he heads overseas. Liverpool produced perhaps the greatest Anfield comeback in the club's European history by beating FC Barcelona 4-0 this morning to reach the 2018-19 Champions League final. Trailing 3-0 from the opening encounter in Spain 6 days ago, the Reds' hope of overcoming the Spanish giants on aggregate were alive yet slim at kickoff. But Jurgen Klopp's remarkable team achieved what many considered impossible. In today's Play of the Day, Fiji's Olympic sevens gold medalist, now Harlequins flanker Semi Kunatani, doing what he does best, unsuspectingly finding the try line. 7 minutes from full time, the Beast broke through the Leicester defense to cement a 23-12 win for the Quins that moved them back into the top 4 of the English Premiership competition. That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and in new media. A look at the Paymo 4G smart wallet. There's some more coming up.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2।
The Paymo 4G Smart Wallet is a wallet that lets you go completely digital with your money. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. This weather is absolutely fine, or should I say perfect. This is such a wonderful time to wear all that winter clothing we had shoved in our cupboards for almost forever. Anyways, taking a look in the west, this side of the country is rather more loved by our friend sunshine. Eastwards from Pakava to Suva, quite cool with very light sunny spells. Early morning showers are up for us. And up north, quite comfortable, but there is more indication of showers later in the night. At sea, the trade winds are rough and so is the sea. Winds are gusting to 30 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 9:25 p.m. with high tide at 3:17 a.m. Sunrise at 6:22. For tomorrow, another semi-sunny day can be expected. Coolness in some parts of Fiji. Tomorrow's temps, Nandi will hit 30 degrees. Quite a warm day expected for the jet set town. And looking further on to Friday, I am over the top. Good Mother's Day weekend in store. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. And in Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of Team Fiji's decision of not taking Yeshnell Curran to the Pacific Games?
I'm not happy with the decision they made, but they should take him.
That is so unfair, pretty unfair, because he has proved himself in the cold game. And what is the criteria that they left him out? I mean, they left him behind.
Actually, he should be selected to South Pacific Games because he's a gold medalist at Coca-Cola.
It's a really wrong decision because this boy is a sprinter.
I think we should choose him because he's been training hard in the field in Tavo.
I think the decision is wrong because he's been participated well in the Coca-Cola Games.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, let's take a look at a man who quit his full-time job, engineering, and sold his house just to fulfill his dream. Recapping the main stories for tonight, proceeding between National Workers Union and WAF terminated. Pediatric heart surgeon raises concern, and rift within SADELPA continues. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, we're asking, should severe penalties be imposed on those who sell undersized marine species? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Alice McPherson. A gloomy morning in Sabu Sabu. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Hoya o basit sai sa Ilambasa, ya untuk talita ina warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Buya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere naman.
Nevang go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.